My name is William Butler.
Yes, sir.
I do. I became homeless about 2 months ago, and no matter what I did, it seemed that everything was leading to me being homeless. So I embraced it.
All right.
And so I'm going to show you guys something different than you've ever saw at any homeless camp.
All right.
Because I was judgmental myself. I used to judge homeless people, and I thought they were all lazy and nasty. And then when I became homeless, I said I was going to change some things. We cleaned this whole park. We raided the dumpsters at because this is inventory system and damage and close dated goods.
Yeah.
And we dispersed some amongst the homeless.
This is Port Charlotte, Florida. All right. So when people think about Port Charlotte, when people say Port Charlotte, what do they usually think, my man?
They usually think the low end of the retirement community.
Yeah.
These were all nasty.
Yeah.
Me and my friend John and my wife Elaine.
Yeah.
We clean all of these sites like homeless experience.
Yeah.
For the rich and middle class.
Yeah.
So that they get to see exactly from their point of view what the homeless are going through.
Yeah.
And they'll also get to see.
Put all these palm fronds on the side.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I see everything's very clean out here.
Yes, sir. This right here will be the charging station we're going to have for the tourists. It's completely different than anything.
Oh, snap, dude. Yeah, you got a whole crib out
I
here.
have a whole crib out here, and I had no choice.
Yeah.
I had no choice. I have a family, and since I've been here, my family has grown.
All right.
Hey, John, this is.
How you doing, Jose? I'm Jose, brother. How you doing?
Million, people, total views and stuff. He's really doing big things. But now I want to tell you how we done this.
Yeah.
Okay. We rescued Miss Martha from the place next door.
Hello. She's elderly.
She's 72 years old.
Hi, Martha. How are you?
What she thinks about this place.
Hi, Martha. I'm Jose. Pleasure to meet you, ma'am. I'll shake your hand.
Nice to meet you.
Ma'am, you're elderly.
How are you?
How do we live in a country where somebody who's elderly has to end up in a homeless camp, brother?
She actually made a choice. We're not going to take that point of view.
Okay.
She made a choice because she loves her freedom. But over there, her freedom and her money and all, it cost her a price that she couldn't afford to pay.
Yeah.
And she was sick, real sickly. Like, she's gained probably 10 pounds since she's and I'm going to show you why as well. Here's the difference. If you give somebody a choice, they'll make the right one. A lot of times people feel like they have no choice.
Yeah.
For the most part, we do our cooking over here. This is my wife, Elaine.
First of all, this is very clean. I've been to homeless camps where, this is very clean.
Look at this.
Y'all done made a city out here, bro. Whoa, look at that. Look good, too. Cooking. That look good, man.
Oh, we get down. You're welcome to eat, that's for sure. So, I started.
Did y'all literally build a...
So I can see, I want you to look at this now with this door closed. This is a commercial door. I saved it from recycle. It was, we had to cut it to fit, but and now so she has security. She has safety.
Yeah, because it's dangerous. Like, I talk to people in homeless camps, anything happens to people out here.
It's very dangerous. And, And not only do the homeless prey on the homeless, but you have the board, upper class kids, or richer kids, whatever you should say. They actually they target the homeless a lot. They
bully.
The store managers, like the lady at the here, she is really prejudiced towards the homeless. So what I wanted to do was help the homeless, but I wanted to help them from the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
But 1 month after saying I was going to help the homeless, God made me homeless as well. Yeah. And I've always been different. Like I said, I did 23 and a half years in prison. I've been out 13 years. Yeah. I've written 5 books, and my books are everywhere.
Where can we find your books, sir?
The book is called The Two of Me.
Okay.
And in this poem, I discovered that I wasn't a house divided. I was a house made apart. That one side of me would never agree with the other side. So then I shared it with a young girl who used to, and I would see her at the hospital. I was going to detox because I was doing too many drugs, but she was going because she was a cutter. And I met her over the years, and the last time that I had heard this doctor speak about it, they said she was because she had progressed to cutting her arteries. I got my little group of quote-unquote crazy people together because I said it was safe for me to recite my poetry. Who would believe them anyway? So I recited the two of me, and this young girl who I never heard speak before, she asked me for a copy of it, and I says, of course you can have one. She wrote it down, and when she got the last word down after I was reciting it, she left, and I thought I'd never see her again. I often wondered when she died. I got out the next day. 2.5 years later, I was at an NA meeting, still struggling with my addiction, and I seen a girl who looked like her, but I dismissed it because this girl was healthy and thick, and this girl was bulimic. She was really skinny, and I just couldn't be her. So after the meeting was over, I heard this voice, and it had a tremor in it, and you could tell she was hurt. And she says, "Hey, William, wait up. I can't believe you don't remember me." I says, I think I remember you, but it can't be you. She says, "It's me." And guess what? I said, "What?" She said, "I don't cut myself anymore."
Yeah.
When I got the piece of paper open that she had handed me, it was real ginger, and I didn't know what was on the paper. She handed it to me when I asked her what made her quit.
Yeah.
And as she told me that story, she said, "I used to punish myself for thinking bad thoughts or doing bad things."
Yeah.
She said, "I thought I was the only one like that. I never talked to one about it." And she says, "But I'll never again, because I read that every day, and it reminds me I'm just like." So I found this wonderful person, more precious than gold. But this person I found, Jose, that just couldn't be me, because when I looked in the mirror, that's not who I see. It seems I've been lost in my journeys of life. I've been married to my pain like a husband to a wife. There's more questions than answers in the life that I live. Although much has been taken, I still choose to give. I often wonder, how much more can I take if I'm still in control of these choices I make? Am I in control? Is it this other one within? Which one is my enemy? Which one is my friend? My house is divided so it cannot stand. For one of me is a coward and the other one's a man. One of me is scared, yet the other one is brave. And one of me has dared to take us both to the grave. When one of me is weak, the other one is strong. When one of me is right, the other one is wrong. When one of me is hurt, the other one cries. One wants to quit and the other still tries. I've hidden my true self so no one can see. So when no one is left, at least I'll have me. This battle for my life is between my flesh and my spirit. And when I want to do right, my flesh won't hear it. Try as I may, I can never explain how two people answer to one person's name. We're walking as one, but we inwardly fighting. A battle begun that started me writing. I'm blessed to write of our duality, this poetic plight of our reality. To paint this portrait just for you to see, both gangster and poet. That's the truth.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks, brother.
Listen,
Thank you. So what you're doing here, I've been to hundreds of homeless camps throughout Florida, if not thousands. And you know what you guys got going on here is family. It's very clean. You know, a lot of homeless people are so deeply trapped in their own battles. Explain to people when you go to a homeless camp and there's just all these things, there's no order. Explain to people what does that to people, that puts them where their minds can't function.
Well, a lot of being overwhelmed.
Yeah.
When Elaine and I became homeless a couple months ago, I too, although I'm a builder, I'm a contractor, I can really build. I'm pretty good at things, and I'm a thinker. I'm a very resourceful person. But because I had not been in the homeless experience, we were overwhelmed. We got rained on. We had a collapsed ceiling. There's all kinds of things happening.
Probably getting chased from one place to the next.
From one place to the next. And so what happened was, I met John. Mr. John is the builder. I'm the provider, and Elaine is the cook.
Yeah.
Now, as long as everybody does their responsibilities and our chores, we have the same result every single day. The problem is that they're overwhelmed. And
they can't cooperate with each other.
Well, that's the one thing I can do. I can get people to work together who can't work together without me. I was great at that in the underworld, and did not know that God was preparing me to do it in a day like today. But I can tell you this, a prepared homeless person is more prepared for whatever may happen, the collapse of the government or whatever else. Me and these two right here will thrive regardless of the economy. We will thrive. And that's what's important, is that people, maybe you don't even have the homeless experience right now. Maybe you want
right now.
Maybe you want to prepare
right now.
Just in case. Let me tell you, there's no better opportunity than to come and spend some time with us and let us show you a different face of homelessness. Let us show you that we want to teach both the public and the homeless a different way.
Yeah.
And it's working.
Yeah. And the problem with the homeless is that many of them are dealing with addiction, mental illness, so they don't have the ability to even. They already ended up in homelessness, so they already don't even have the ability to manage a normal life.
Here's the problem. They haven't ended up in no more addiction than me, no more mental illnesses than me.
Yeah.
I have PTSD, I'm obsessive compulsive disorder, anxiety disorder, depression disorder.
Yeah.
And I woke up on the way to the morgue. So, yes, everybody's biggest problem is the biggest problem in the world. But I can tell you that I'm an overcomer. And if I can do it, anybody can. I don't think that I'm any special person. I just think that when given an opportunity,
A lot of people gonna be successful.
People can change.
Yeah, like you. So you spend a lot of time locked up.
Yes.
A lot of times, all people need is a hope and opportunity.
They need hope and an opportunity. First, they need hope, because without the hope, the opportunity is no good.
Yeah.
I passed up many opportunities because I had no hope.
Yeah.
But if I got a little bit of hope, I'll make my opportunity. It won't have to come to me. I'll go to it. I want the public to stop ostracizing the homeless. I want the businesses to know that, listen, instead of worrying about who's going in your dumpster, how about sell us the contract rights? Sell me the dumpster diving rights, and let me organize it for you so that the neighborhoods are cleaner, so that your property's value remains and even goes higher. I can do that. That's what my gift is, organization and getting people to work together who will not otherwise do it. The people who come here, and we have a lot of people visit here,
Yeah.
you don't see any cigarette butts because they know I don't play that.
Yeah.
You don't see any trash runs because they know I don't play.
Yeah.
People will change if they see real change amongst them.
Yeah.
It
I
has
mean,
to
I
be
see
amongst
people. I see everybody working here. I see everybody moving.
Yes.
Yeah.
We our main goal was okay.
Yeah.
Miss Martha, as an example,
Yeah.
it was someone that we wanted to rescue from her situation. But
Yeah.
anyway, so she has an income, but she was. This is what happened to a lot of homeless as well. They're taken advantage of.
Yeah.
She was taken advantage of, and literally she was telling me today that she had scabies problems, all these other problems. Her skin had sores.
Yeah.
Look at her now.
Yeah.
She has the appetite of a teenager. And Elaine cooks for her and dotes over her. She thinks that that's like her mama.
Yeah.
And so now, guess how much we charge her? Nothing. We just want to help.
Yeah.
We don't want her money. We want to help. And so we want to go throughout Florida and start a new thing.
Yeah.
And that is, we can help change these homeless camps. All this trash is up. We will go in and clean these places up. Give us a designated area for your homeless, and we will show you how to make that a running place like we do here.
Right.
And
I think the real problem though is that, like, it's almost like the United States is designed so that everybody's enslaved, and anybody who goes against, because this country, to be fair, is designed for everybody to be a slave.
Well, exactly. Well, see, the monetary system itself is that, but let me tell you about a new system. And this system here is bartering and trading. There is no money amongst the homeless because a lot of them are affected by the meth epidemic.
You give them money, it hurts them more than help
No
them.
money. You give them. They don't have money to trade, but they still need things. So what they do is, or what we do is, okay, I have 7 bicycles now.
Yeah.
I did not put one piece of cash money in it. I bartered and I traded. So I took a system that we had to implement in prison, and I brought it out here into the world, and it works.
Yeah.
It's healthy, and I know how to engage in commerce without there being any visible money.
Yeah.
So and so now, and another thing, we have an unwritten rule for what is good business and what is bad business, and it's just like any other way, except for that we are more prepared than Donald Trump, and we love Donald Trump. But we're more prepared than the governor of the state. Now, if everybody was to drop these fellas and say, you own your own, they would need somebody like us. You cannot, because you are smarter, that don't help you make it out here. Because you are more connected, that don't help you make it out here. What helps you make it out here is being more determined to get what you need for your family than anything else. And it is here.
Let me ask you a question. Are you more limited in a homeless camp than you are in a prison?
Oh no.
So
No.
being here,
For me,
yeah,
for me, it's different.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be different.
Yeah.
Everybody said, "Why are you doing so much?" As soon as the cops come, they don't make you move. I
Yeah.
said, "Well, I want them to be so impressed with what we done that even if they make us move, they're going to say we're doing something different."
or they're gonna feel like they're doing something wrong.
Exactly. So
Because like, look, if they come in here and they see elderly people that you're helping, they see that it's clean, it's not visible from the road, no needles.
none of that.
It would make those people feel like they're doing something wrong.
You're exactly right. So we've had
Yeah.
2 visitors back here. This whole place was a bunch of carts, grocery carts.
Yeah.
And it was really, really trashy. And I did what I told them I would do. They said, "Hey, will you help clean up the rest of it?" And
Look at the floor. Ain't no garbage.
none.
It's clean.
Everything here
Mm-hmm.
with the paint. We used everything. This is from PetSmart. Everything, all of the recycling that we do, we are definitely in line with the green agenda. We've done over 44,000 pounds in the 2 months that we've been here in material, food, stuff that we saved from the recycle bins. So literally snatched it out of the recycle process, out of the trash process, and recycled it, and not only made it somewhere standing up, but a useful part of
So
a good
in the United
business.
States, where there's so much growth and prosperity, it always blew my mind that in a country that has so many resources, we got people that don't even have a place to live in a general sense.
Okay, the reason why that is that you can have resources, but if you don't have knowledge of how to obtain the resources, that's your problem. For example, this might blow your mind. You know what Section 8 is, don't you?
Yes, sir.
I promise you don't. It's bigger than what you think. Now you know nothing starts with 8. Can you tell me, Mr. Jose, what's in them first 7 sections?
You tell me, sir.
Yeah, right. I did a speech at the world famous Proctor's Theater in which I had brokers from all over the country stumped. Nobody knew the answer.
Yeah.
So now what the problem is that the government says the first 7 sections, which Section 3 is the one that really pertains to the whole demographic. And it's not a race benefit, it is an economic benefit in which 96% of all Americans qualify for, but only 1% know about it.
Yeah.
Section 3 is a resource that would guarantee employment, guarantee green agenda adherence to where they would go in and seal the windows for the window. I mean, they would go in and just basically remodel a rental and not even worry about the owner. We have so much job opportunities, housing opportunities through the Section 3 program, but yet someone as knowledgeable as you hasn't even heard about it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's the answer to your problem. You said a country with so many resources. Okay, the problem is that they got these resources for a select group that they will inform, hey, this is what's there. Educate your people, take advantage of all the benefits. For the other 99% of us, they don't tell us anything. Well, that's the problem. And I've solved that problem in this discovery of the Section 3s and the others. But think about how much more is out there that I don't know about. We as a body of people should have somebody, an advocacy group that's always looking for benefits and who will actually inundate our population. It's easy to say, I want to help the homeless and have some paperwork in your office, but what homeless person's coming to your office? None. There's usually no structure, no order.
No.
But our goal, Jose, is to have camps like this in the place of what they have now.
Yeah.
And all we would need is a designated area. I got a business model for how we would take these nasty trash piles that was ex-homeless camps, and I got a business model where we would turn them into profitable businesses almost immediately.
But the problem is that the state doesn't want people like you to have any ideas. They don't want people like you to organize anything. They want all of us to be slaves to the monetary system and not have us be able to do anything. Like, there used to be a place in Brevard County in Melbourne where they let the homeless people live. Well, eventually, guess what? They changed that stance and went in there and tore it out. And they had homeless people in there. I swear I saw one guy, I thought they were going to have to amputate his leg. Half a mile, 2 miles up a dirt road, inaccessible, with a rotting leg, they didn't even have peroxide. And if they walk a quarter mile down the road, they've been trespassed from everywhere, so the cops go chase them down. So what the state of Florida is doing is that they're forcing the people that don't have economical resources into situations that will literally kill them.
Well, with the passing of this recent law, that there could be, and now let's see both sides here.
Yeah.
The government, the homeless pile up. It is no longer a vacation area. It is a dump site.
Yeah.
First and foremost. Now, second of all, if we were going to adequately address this problem, we would give somebody somewhere to go, as opposed to being just locked up. What it does is it creates a penal system just for the homeless. They've got a new law that they just passed that you can't camp on no public lands.
You can't even sleep in public.
You can't sleep in public.
That's tyrannical, almost, man.
Well, that's. But remember now, a lot of rules have a purpose, and that is to lock this demographic up. Florida's a vacation spot. We would rather keep them locked up and out of sight, as opposed to let's really address this thing in a way to where it could work for everybody. Mm-hmm. I think this is an example, Jose, of how it can work for everybody. I didn't know John. John didn't know me. And me and Elaine didn't. She didn't know him either. But we fed him a meal. He won't ask for nothing. We forced our food on him. Now we only had a tent, and we cooked with the wood.
Yeah.
But we gonna share what we got. And when he told me one day, he says, "I'm gonna build you something." He says, "And we're gonna have the nicest spot." And I thought it was just big talk.
No, this is definitely the nicest. And I have seen in Florida hundreds of homeless camps.
Yeah.
Duval, Dade, Tampa, Orlando. I even saw a dude that built in Pasco County up by Orlando, somewhere up that way, a whole house, but it ain't this nice.
Right.
Now this dude did have generators, but it was one dude.
We had none of that.
Yeah.
None of it. We did it without it. Now we had a plan for a generator, and John fixes everything. I was going to write a book about him called "The Man That Could Do Everything."
Yeah.
It's like he fell out of the sky. I have ideas, and all I need is the idea, and we can discuss it. Superman would, if that would be an issue, he would take care of it. Brandon has laundry and charging. He goes to the store and he charges the phone. John is the master builder, but he has taken on the water duties for me because it's just I have too much to do.
Gotcha. So let me understand this. You guys are all homeless.
Yes.
And working together to make sure that you're not missing anything.
Yes.
The biggest problem that people have, I think, in the United States is that this country is structured to separate families, and people can't even live people could live with their mother-in-law, their grandma, and now they would have a better economical situation. But people in this country, we all want our own little place. What is the power of like here in Florida, we have a lot of Haitians, and their flag says, or their motto is, there's power in unity. La unión es la force. Like, union is force.
Yes.
Can you explain, because we all know that if we work together, it's beneficial, but the implementation of that unity is difficult.
Yes. For me, it was about repetition. I was always a very structured guy because of my choices early in life. It led to a long incarceration. Well, while incarcerated, I had to figure out how to get past the system so I could live the way I wanted to live.
Yeah.
I did that, and so I took all of those abilities and I used it for positive. You have to be resourceful. You have to be tenacious. You have to work 48 hours as minimum as 48 hours straight, no rest. The only motivation you have is I need somewhere to stay. She was my biggest motivation.
Yeah.
I have always taken care of her, and so I knew that I could. I told her, I says, I can bring people together, and I think this is more like what God would have me to do. And so it is. There's so much unity in the power and unity, but there's also power in being peculiar about who you unite with. And even just like in politics, in the homeless world, it's very political. It's very political. You got this group who don't like this group, and this group's up to no good, and this group's a pretty good group of people. But there's so much fear here that the people who would make a right decision will more than likely make a wrong decision because of intimidation.
Yeah.
Now, it is not as bad as it is in the corporate world, whereby the homeless just prey on the homeless. It's that one group don't know how to do no better, and the other group don't know how to teach them.
Yeah.
And so we believe that we can make a difference. That's what my life is all about.
Yeah.
Is I want to make a difference. I want to take every wrong thing I ever done,
Yeah.
everything I've ever been through, or put somebody else's family through, and I want to pay for that by cleaning up the homeless communities like I do, and putting the people to work.
Okay.
And giving them different things.
So, what is the advice? I have a lot of homeless subscribers because when I started doing the homeless tours, they start watching. What is your advice to somebody right now who is homeless? Let's say somebody's watching this. I got homeless people in Vero, Dade, Pensacola. I know there's a few guys in Orlando, Pasco that watch my YouTube channel. They're homeless. What is your advice to them so that they can live better as homeless people?
Okay, you choose to be at home in your homelessness.
Yeah.
This is the difference. The difference is
Yeah.
you need to build a place that you can be proud of.
Yeah.
You need to build a place that is secure so you can go to work and keep your goods.
Right.
And
So in the case of your camp, you've designated somebody who's security.
all the time.
Okay, because obviously somebody would run up through here, take everything that's worth $1.
Yes, we've been robbed. We've been literally robbed, but we've had people that
Oh,
we
yeah.
were nice to, and they took out stuff as they went.
Yeah.
And that's why we have the gates.
Yeah.
And we're putting up a fence now. And let me show you, please.
Yeah.
This is what we're building the fence out of. We have those panels up front. See, there's no trash up there. Those are some new panels.
All right, so first of all, it's not visible from the road in the sense that,
This will be our
Yeah.
fence, and it's just a little deterrent.
and you made that. That didn't cost you not what?
We make everything out of most everything.
Y'all
out of the
take a
palm.
look at this, man.
This is out of the palm tree.
That's out of the palm trees. That ain't.
We can make everything we want out of the palm tree.
Yeah.
We can start a fire with the palm tree in
Yeah.
a rainstorm.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's such a blessed tree.
Yeah.
We can make clothes out of the tree. If
Okay.
I had no other clothes, I can make clothes out of the tree. You can get thread out of the tree. You can get cabbage out of the
You
palm
can eat
tree.
the. You can eat it.
You can get cabbage out
You
of
can
the
eat the cabbage. It's called the swamp cabbage we call it in South Florida.
Every 8th layer, I think it is.
All right, so the idea is the way this homeless camp is laid out is everybody's tent is here in one place, and you have somebody always for security.
Yeah.
Whereas if you work like most of the camps that I go to, it might be like 20 acres, right? And then every like 1 acre is one homeless camp, so that if somebody wanted to rob, they can hop from one camp to the next robbing.
Right.
But you guys are all in this circle here, and there's always somebody here,
Right.
which means nobody from the outside can come in.
Right. So what this is different. This is a family setting.
Yeah.
So that it was built for me, John, and Elaine
Yeah.
according to our needs, and I knew I would watch everybody, and I knew what they needed to be to perform their best. So Elaine needed space, and so we advanced to cooking with the propane and adding the tables, and all those tables have storage.
Yeah.
Every one of them. So get them what they need so they can operate at the highest level. That means if your wife needs an extra pot, get her the extra pot, and she's going to perform better. Your food's going to be better, more efficiently. It's
Yeah.
all about being efficient out here. Because, hey, this is Florida. It gets hot, it gets cold, and it rains.
Yeah.
And so my roof, I don't have no, I have one leak.
And you got a lake view.
I got a lake view.
Now they don't got a view of you. They can't see you, but you can see it
The
out.
only thing you can see from Walmart is
Yeah.
the top of my shelter.
Okay.
You can't see nothing else.
Gotcha.
John purposely puts blinds up pretty much on everything.
And I mean, you're using the palm fronds all around the camp to kind of create security
We create
and
security.
privacy.
We use it for security. We use it for campfire. We
Yeah.
use the leaves for like the lighter to start the fire.
Yeah.
This palm tree is.
I gotta ask something. You're originally from Florida,
I'm originally from North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you something. I'm from Naples, right? I lived 20 years in Naples. I'm in Bradenton now because I can afford Naples. I was in Lehigh for a bit, couldn't afford that either. The commute was too long. There is something special about the way homeless camps are the further south you go down here in Florida, in that, like once you get a certain place, they get savage, wild. But down here, there's a level of cleanliness, sophistication, order. There's food in the camps. In other words, I'm just complimenting you in that. In this part of Florida, because I've seen homeless camps all over, right? But the ones that I've seen, more towards Southwest Florida, with the exception of like North Fort Myers, is pretty rough. But like Port Charlotte, Naples, Bonita, just another level of sophistication with the homelessness where it makes it bearable.
Right, but now if you take a situation, let's say I had a piece of property like the carpet trails over here.
Yeah.
If you go to the carpet trails now, you would not have this experience.
Yeah.
But these guys now are very ingenious. They're very ingenious. But of course, none of them can work together because nobody can trust anybody.
Yeah.
Imagine if these guys who had all this ingenuity,
Yeah.
who was as smart as they are, all worked together. I myself would be a lot better off.
Yeah.
But it's a total different experience. It's very standoffish, and it's just not clean. Now, do they have the same opportunities I do? Of course they do. But sometimes people need a clean start. And that's where we come in. We are cleaning up camps on this property to make camps like this.
Yeah.
So you can't beat it. The recycling is awesome. You're recycling the relationships between the public and the homeless.
Yeah.
Because it's getting another chance.
Yeah.
That's all recycling is about, getting another chance. And so the homeless need another chance. Let's recycle them.
Yeah.
Let's give them another chance. Not another opportunity to fail, but a real chance to win. And we can do that by first letting them rise out of their own situations like we can.
Yeah.
If we did not want to exist within the homeless population,
Yeah.
me, Johnny, and Elaine could have already come together and got another.
I mean, because let's understand this. You got 4 people. 4 people can pay a rent.
Yes.
All
yes.
right. Now, 1, almost impossible. 2, very difficult, especially if you're elderly. But 4 can do it.
Yes.
So, is there a thought of maybe saving up for the future to be able to do that together? Because
It's funny you should ask.
I gotta ask. I gotta ask.
I don't know.
You like it? You like it?
Well, my wife,
Mhm.
she wants housing. She wants housing.
Yeah.
And I gotta follow her, but I will never take my heart out of this homeless
Got
movement
you.
because they need me.
Yeah. But you know, the better off you are, the more impact you can have on other people.
And you just think we live like it's vacation.
Yeah.
We are a benefit to the landowners. We are cleaning up the property.
Yeah.
And before we're done, we're going to present them with a business model whereby now this property here and all the adjacent property becomes a property of profit.
Yeah. You gotta keep in mind, probably the reason that would never happen is insurance companies.
I have my own insurance, $5 million general liability. I'm a business.
You'll insure.
I would insure the homeless.
But what insurance company is gonna stand behind that's the problem?
Oh my God! When you have general liability, it's general liability. That's all.
General liability.
General liability, yes. So you got the hospital; they have insurance.
Yeah.
My company, I've had $5 million insurance policy probably for the last 10 years, and so I would just implement my own insurance. I don't need theirs. They don't have anything here worth $5 million.
But at the end of the day, right, it's bigger than their insurance policy.
It covers all their injuries. It covers anything. And listen, remember, if Walt Disney can do what he does, then we can do what we're doing. And no, would they assume a liability? No, but that's where I come in. I add them to my policy as additional insured. And so then they have no liability whatsoever, and I get to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's a win-win-win for the homeless who, as they graduate, as they leave, they will be well educated. Cleanliness must be a change. I'm putting up a whiteboard now where everybody has a choice.
I mean, let me just mention something. In general, in liability, a trespasser has no rights. So either way, if in theory everybody is a trespasser, then nobody actually has the right to sue them.
Well, no,
so they don't really have a liability either way.
Well, what I'm saying is when you want to engage in commerce with another party, they want to know that their back end is covered.
Yeah.
So and we add them to our insurance policies if that was to happen.
Yeah.
But no, there's a lot of somebody's that's going to be smart enough to jump on board with this.
You know, like they say that Africa right now is the most emerging commerce in the whole world.
It's because it's their season.
Right. But you know why? Because there's so much potential and lack of regulation that I think there's actually more opportunity where there is no regulation than where there is regulation.
Well, You got right, but we got two ways to look at that. Where there is no regulation, a lot of times lives are lost because of poor business practices, whatever. And then sometimes you got too much regulation to where they regulate it to where only their people get the money.
That's where Florida's at right now.
That's what happened with all our TV companies.
Yeah.
Many years ago, America had the biggest TV production companies in the world.
Yeah.
And then Japan bought our politicians out. China bought our politicians out, and they made it a $1,000 tariff to get a part for United States manufacturers, but it was free for Japan and China. And I remember reading a book where the guy says that would take America out of TV making business. 5 years later, America was out of TV making business. So now America is basically out of business. You don't see an American motel owner. You don't see an American store owner. You don't see, they are not there anymore. Our foreign interests own this country now. So in this foreign interests, before long now, since they own the country, they begin to have more voters. They begin to start getting their policies, which is anti-America.
Yeah,
So,
like all these regulations against homelessness in Florida, and you know there's law enforcement agencies not here in Charlotte County or Sarasota, but you go to like Brevard County or Duval County or Clay County here in Florida, and the law enforcement goes outside of the law to handle homeless people the way they want. That don't happen here. I haven't seen it here.
Well, I got an example for you.
Yeah.
I of course I have business cards, and I was going to some of these dilapidated homes that had the tops blown off of them, and of course you can't get up with nobody to get an invitation there. So I would go and pass out my business cards to the adjacent neighbors saying, hey, I'm going to do a measure up on this. I'm going to present it to a potential owner, and then you could get this house fixed and your neighborhood look better. It was a win-win-win. Well, the Charlotte County Sheriff's Department, they came to where I was at a few weeks ago, measuring up a home, and they seen me with a bike. So evidently, they automatically assumed I was homeless.
Yeah.
And I think I was treated way different. They charged me with loitering and prowling.
Yeah.
I'm here with the square footage of the house. You know, so it's not like it's exempt here.
Yeah.
And that the business owners call the cops immediately.
Yeah.
And
Well, so it's like we're in a state now where in the state of Florida, they're looking at homelessness. I don't really understand the constitutionality of you having less rights than me, or you being more likely. When I was growing up, I'm Hispanic. When I was growing up, Hispanics and blacks were being profiled by the police.
of course,
You know who's being profiled by the police now?
the homeless.
The homeless.
Well-
So I don't like injustices.
Right.
So when I see the way the police treats the homeless people, it reminds me of when I was growing up and how I was submitted to things that most people weren't submitted to.
I see what you're saying, and I see that's where your passion is at. And I'm going to tell you this, that that is so prevalent amongst the homeless, that when me and my wife first lost our home, we was in front of this place right here in Port Charlotte, Florida, and I said, look, we cannot look homeless. I said, because they'll call the cops.
Oh yeah.
Immediately, they called the cops. The cops ran me to see if there was anything you could lock me up for, and that hurt me so bad.
Yeah.
That I said I didn't know this would ever happen, but I knew that I wanted to be different somehow when it happened to me, and the difference is that I may be in fact listed as homeless, but everywhere I go, I can make a home, and I can make a clean home, and I can make it there. Whether it's from a dumpster route to whereby I get goods to resell or barter or trade, or simply because I went and did a job because now my wife is secure. I don't have to worry about her during the day, so I can go and actually do a job now. No matter what it takes for me to get my family the best situation they can get. That's what I'm dedicated to. That's what all of the homeless and non-homeless should be dedicated to. But you're right. We're ostracized. We're targeted, and we're stereotyped.
Yeah.
And it was just like I was wrong about the majority of the homeless demographic. They're wrong too, and I know they're wrong because I'm not nasty. I don't do drugs all day long. There's so much about me, about my life, that they would actually enjoy if they got a chance to know me.
Yeah.
But a lot of people want
Yeah.
because I'm homeless.
Right. I love the opportunity you've given me. I'm gonna try to link up with you guys again in the future if I can.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time. I'm gonna include the link to your book.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to buy it off my channel, they can.
Awesome.
Appreciate your time, brother.
I get thousands of pounds of meat.
So, yeah, I mean, this is Southwest Florida, so they throw out all kind of crap.
Oh yeah, and I get it before it ever hits the dumpster. For
Yeah.
Because I got connections.
Yeah.
But this is simply dumpster service. And you can anything that they have in the world.
Yeah.
We have it.
So you got your own little store up in here.
I got my own store.